What's the deal, y'all? We're Trapper tapping in TNN Trap News Network. Back in the same, like cracking the same here at TNN Trap News Network. Good news you can use. Good knowledge, though you can't get nobody's college, though, big dog. Tap in with that tap in and make sure you are, in fact, tapped in with that good tap in. You feel me? You feel me? Hit that notification bell. Hit all. Stay tapped in for the latest and the greatest. Everything we have going on here at TNN Trap News Network. And we need y'all to get into that like, get into that comment, get to that good subscribe button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. Hit the notification bell. Hit all. And we want you to make sure that you are completely tapped all the way in. If you would like to be a TNN Trap News Network correspondent, you want to give us some news we can use, you want to give us some knowledge that we can't get nobody's college, please tap in with me on Instagram, TRAPNEWSNETWORX. That's Trap News Network. It's a newsington you can usington. It's a knowledge though you are not finna get in nobody's college though. Tap in with that tap in and make sure you are in fact tapped in with that. Good tap in. You feel me? Hit me up and I'll give you all the information you need for this potentially paid opportunity from me to you. You feel me? We finna jump into this Kantiana. We got Tory Lanez has been hit up by the Mexicans within the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. Tory Lanez is on a 50-50 yard, which is the PC yard, I believe. You know what? Let's go to my good assistant, Trap GPT. Shout out to Trap GPT. Let's get exact clarity of what this is. So, let's not spread any false news. Let's see. Trap GPT, what's the deal? You up?
Hey, I'm right here. What's good with you?
Do you know what a 50-50 yard is in reference to the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation?
Yeah, a 50-50 yard in the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation usually refers to a mixed yard where both general population inmates and protective custody inmates are housed together. It's called 50-50 because it combines different groups of inmates who might otherwise be kept separate, aiming to reduce violence and create a more stable environment.
So, Tory Lanez is a general population person who is tied with the 50-50 yard. Now, what does that mean for the blacks? Because everything's racial in the California Departments of Corrections and Rehabilitation. It means that blacks can go where they want to go and do what they want to do. Now, the Mexicans have X amount of time to get off or somebody and get off that yard. What that means is they're probably given about 72 hours, to my understanding, to do their due diligence, get sent to the hole and get sent off that yard. If they don't, it looks like they want a program with those who are in protective custody. To the blacks, this rule doesn't mean anything because the blacks run a different program. To the Mexicans, they follow their protocol and they don't want their people on those yards. We're finna get Dubs' rendition of what's going on in the situation, and I specifically want to hear what Dubs has to say because he's a prison politicker YouTube channel, and I would like to see exactly what he feels about this situation with one of the Mexicans stabbing Tory Lanez. Before we get into this, I have not seen this, but I'm willing to bet that he said he's going to say something to the effect of, oh, well, he's no good anyway. That doesn't matter. The fact remains that a Mexican stabbed a black within the California Departments of Corrections and Rehabilitation. Let's see where this goes.
Thing, right? And, a lot of people were putting out a lot of stuff and I did my videos just saying how in my head, in my mind, nothing about this attack on Tory Lanez seems legit. As far as there's no way that the dude that hit him is a GP inmate. Now,
what I say, the first excuse niggas go to is, oh, he's not a GP inmate. That does not change the fact that a Mexican stabbed a black within the California Departments of Corrections and Rehabilitation. That does not change the fact at all.
As you see from the thumbnail and the title, there is a person with the same exact name, Santino Casio, who in 2002 killed at the age of 20, Santino Sonny Casio killed his 13-year-old girlfriend. Let me say that again. A 20-year-old with the same exact name as the guy that attacked Tory Lanez in 2002. He was allegedly, he killed, was found guilty of killing a 13-year-old girl that lived with him, ran away from home, and was his girlfriend. This goes back to...
This has absolutely nothing to do with the story, but what the entire FUCK is that about? Like, what the hell? Like, goodness gracious. Like, golly. What? This is barnacles.
To everything I said in my other videos. There ain't no... Tory Lanez is in protective custody.
He's not in protective custody. Tory Lanez is on a 50-50 yard, as we just listened to, which pertains to your people being in protective custody. Not saying that there aren't any blacks in protective custody, but that's more so for what your homies got going on, because your homies don't be wanting to politic under the rules and the regulations under the Raza, and that pressure be a lot, so they end up on 50-50. You was in protective custody too. Dubs, I don't know if you know. Shh, it's a secret, but you was in protective custody. How do we know? Because you admitted it, and then Gunners Collective tried to clean it up, but it don't change the fact that you admitted the fact you was in protective custody, big dog. So you should know that when it comes to the blacks, they can program on a 50-50 yard because they don't fall under the same rules and regulations as the Mexicans. But we gonna whisper about it, because if we whisper about it, it's a secret and don't nobody know. Shh, don't tell nobody.
I don't...
Babe, if I whisper, don't nobody know, and it's a secret.
I don't know who these dudes are.
Shh, don't tell the World Wide Web.
I don't know who these dudes are that Spider Lope talked to, but if they are saying they are on the same yard with Santino Casio, I don't see how...
Why are you pushing it, man? Bro, get to the point about your people stabbing a black. You're talking about everything but the actual... Man, Dubs, what's up with you, bro? Dubs, what's up with you, bro? What's up with you, Dubs? Why are you talking about everything but the point at hand? How are you going to justify this? This be the racist stuff that the viral way be talking about, bro. Dubs, this what you be talking about, bro. That's why the viral way be on your head. That's why the viral... Shout out to viral way. Shout out to Messiah and Mr. Viral. Shout out to Messiah and Mr. Viral. That's why they be on your head. Shit like this. Get your shit together, Dubs.
How that's a 50-50 yard with those kind of charges. Santino Casio, obviously...
Even bigger question. So since we asking questions that don't got nothing to do with nothing, all right, well, how your people even let them get to the 50-50 yard? How you make it that far? Ain't y'all supposed to terminate? Ain't that what y'all be so proud of? Removals? Permanently? How he even make it to the 50-50 yard? How he make it to see a 50-50 yard if he was doing whatever with a 13-year-old little girl? Your people allowed that? Oh, interesting. I'm just saying, if we're gonna play the racial card, let's play it all the way around, not just where it makes sense to our benefit. Okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? You want to play this game of they on a bad yard, whatever, blah blah blah. Even though we know that those politics don't apply to blacks, but let's play in your imaginary game. How bro even make it to the bad yard? Interesting.
Had some bad charges and was on the yard that was built for him.
The yard that was built for you. You told us you were in PC. This boy is wild. This boy Dubs is wild. You a wild boy, Dubs. You a wild boy. Call you Steve-O. You a wild boy.
I stick to it to where I've seen what he looks like. I see that he has a satanic pentagram on him. The way his tattoos look, I don't see this as an individual that's playing with a full deck. Obviously, with the charges that he has, the murder he was convicted of, ain't nothing cool about that guy. I see that they're saying in the media that he has an assault with a deadly weapon on his jacket. He was also caught another case for possession of a weapon. I don't know. I mean, imagine this dude who has victimized a child, and now Tory Lanez has those type of charges.
What type of charge? Tory Lanez don't got no victimizing of a child. Bro, you're weird. Bro, Dubs, you a bald-headed weirdo, bro. Tory Lanez don't got no type of charges for victimizing no children. So to justify a Mexican stabbing a black, you gonna put a child charge on this dude? Wow. 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 To justify a Mexican stabbing a black, you gonna put a child charge on this dude. That is incredible. Dubs, you different, bro. You different.
I'm willing to bet that he's an EOP, but we refer to as a JCAT, meaning somebody on medication. Those guys, you know, when I was in Pelican Bay, B facility,
What about your PC
3
facility?
building,
What about your PC facility?
B and C section
Why you don't ever talk about your PC yard you was on? That's crazy.
had EOP dudes. A section was GP. And those EOPs used to come out to yard with all of us. And I remember during the riot, there were some EOPs that got hit. And, you know, they used to try to mingle EOPs with GPs. And there were times where EOPs got killed in the cell or the EOPs killed somebody in the cell. I can remember clearly a specific case where an EOP, he killed someone who was related to someone, and that person got out of the shoe and wound up in that same, actually, in Tehachapi, same prison, and wound up stabbing the sergeant that okayed that move. Once again, Tehachapi, right? But, so for
Bro is talking about everything but Tory Lanez and but the politics at hand. So that just probably goes to show you that he's not against a Mexican stabbing a black. He doesn't seem like he's too opposed to it.
for all these people that you know, that were saying it was a Southsider that hit him, that's definitely not a Southsider. Definitely not a Norteño. Definitely not a Bulldog. That's someone who does not live a GP life. And so for everybody getting riled up and wanting to say that there's going to be a race war, that guy is
Yeah, why wouldn't there be? If the shoe was on the other foot and a black had did this to a Mexican, it wouldn't matter his status, it wouldn't matter anything like that. They would want give back and retribution for their people. So now you want to say, so basically you want the blacks to take that in silence and be submissive to the fact. Got it. Silent war tactics. You want the blacks to take that as an L and just be quiet and be like, oh well, it's okay because he wasn't a Southsider. Got it. That's what you expect. That's your racially motivated thinking. Got it. How very Caucasian of you, Dubs. How very colonizer of you. How very the caucasity. The caucasity. I get it. You're white passing. The caucasity of you. I get it. You're white passing. Oh. The Aztecs, the Mayans, and Incas. Your roots and your history. What's a Mexican if not a native who was raped by a Spaniard? What colors were the natives? Just throwing that into the... Start that argument in the comments. I said what I said. Look it up. Don't argue with me. Argue with facts of DNA and history.
not considered.
Don't get mad at me. Get mad at the Spaniards. But, you know, unless you want to continue just to be meat eating and white passing, that's your business.
Part of anybody's race. And if we're going to listen to the story that not considered part of anybody's race, that's someone who does not live a GP life.
So they're not considered part of anybody's race? That's not true at all. Because, again, if this is a black who had attacked a Mexican in the exact same way, everybody would understand that he's black. Well, no, he's on a 50-50 yard. Well, no, because blacks can program and blah, blah, blah. And then you would understand that concept. But now because he's not, or now he's not Mexican, all of a sudden he's not Mexican? What? Because he's on the 50-50 yard, all of a sudden he's not Mexican. He's not considered part of anybody. That's not how that works. That's not how that works at all. White passing dubs. You got to get your life together, brother.
And so for
This is what a lack of education looks like, kids. Stay in school. Stay in school. You too could be on YouTube spreading false misinformation, trying to cover up a situation that doesn't even need to be covered up, and telling stupid lies when the truth will suffice.
everybody getting riled up and wanting to say that there's going to be a race war, that guy is not considered part of anybody's race. And if we're going to listen to the story that Poetic Flaco told, that Tory Lanez has all this money and he's paying for people to, be his bodyguards and his muscle and all that. Perfect example when Poetic Flaco says that Tory Lanez.
All right, well, it's too hard for me to listen to a racist Mexican who couldn't make it and hit a PC yard talk about a fat, stuttering idiot who can't wear anything outside of Nike Techs and keeps a hot dog stuffed in his mouth. So I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of this content on your own at Devs' channel. Something's up with this guy. I don't like him. Sketchy. Keep an eye on him. With that being said, pay attention to the world around y'all. See what the Viral Way be talking about when it comes to this guy right here. Shout out to the Viral Way podcast. If you ain't did so, make sure you show them dudes some love real quick. Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Boom. Big shout out to the Viral Way podcast. If you ain't showing them no love, make sure you show them dudes some love. Shout out to the Viral Way podcast. Shout out to Messiah. Shout out to Mr. Viral, the Viral Way podcast. We up out here to the next one, though. Y'all know the deal is red dots to the left. Y'all know the rest, and it's free. Avenue Angel tweets free. We gone.